Tomorrow, a state committee is expected to announce that Florida will hold its primary election next January 31st. Republicans pushing the idea say it will give Florida more influence over who runs against President Obama next year. But not all Republicans in the state agree. ABC 7's John McQuiston is here with that story. John?
Well, some Republicans say that breaking the rules set by the National Party Committee would leave Florida with less influence, not more. The Republican National Committee says states that hold primaries before March 1st could lose half their delegates. Supporters of the earlier primary date say it's worth the risk.
Just last weekend, the political world focused on Florida for the straw poll in Orlando.
Herman Cain.
Those pushing the early primary date say that would give Florida the same kind of clout when the votes really count. But the Republican National Committee threatens to cut Florida's voting delegation to next year's national convention in half.
And that's why there's such a turmoil even within our party and whether or not to push it up or not.
Sarasota County Republican Chair Joe Gruters hopes the plan works, but doesn't sound convinced. He points out that the January primary date would also mean that Florida's primary would not be winner take all. So winning would give a candidate fewer delegates and losing would cost him fewer.
If you know you're going to get 10% of the delegates regardless of whether or not you campaign or not, it may make you bypass the state of Florida.
But at least one observer says Florida's large and diverse population should still make it a power player in the process.
It'll be very significant for the winner. So even though half the delegates would be stripped, there'd be that penalty there, it still is going to be a very important state.
Party faithful like Gruters still fear that some in Tallahassee want to have their cake and eat it too.
So I think that they're hoping that they'll push it through January 31st, and then the Republican National Committee will go ahead and forgive Florida since we're the host.
Given that the convention is in the state of Florida, and Florida will be a pivotal state in the general election, I can't see the GOP biting its nose to spite its face.
But it could still throw the entire primary schedule into chaos. Right now, the Iowa caucuses are scheduled for February 6th, the New Hampshire primary for February 14th. But those states, plus Nevada and South Carolina, say they will go earlier to get back in front of Florida if Florida goes through with a January 31st date. Got that?
A lot to catch there. Thanks, John.